And hello, welcome. Just got back in from Morbius. Sorry. Nice long walk back. At least this time I didn't have to brave a damn rainstorm to get back from like I was with the Batman. But I digress. And also to apologize, I didn't think this movie. I thought this movie was going to be about as long as the Batman. I didn't know that, but I'm sorry. I'm doing this a little earlier than expected. So there you go. But anyway, I digress. So Morbius. Uh Off the bat, this movie is passable. It's very, very passable. What do I mean? Well, it's simple. Of course, Morbius stars Jared Leto as, of course, the titular Dr. Michael Morbius. And of course, the whole point of the whole point of the movie is that he is trying to cure a rare blood condition that he's had since birth. And of course, he thinks using vampire bats is what's going to save him. And also a person he befriends who is played by Matt Smith, who probably hasn't done many good movies as far as I can tell. The only other movie I know he was in was freaking Terminator Genisys. But I digress on that. So yeah, he and Matt Smith's character are basically saying they're brothers, or more or less just like found brothers, more or less because they grew up in the same like intensive care facility. But Morbius has like even gone on and tried to create a sort of new type of like synthetic blood that he uses, which kind of sounds like something that's kind of a little weird, even though there's a lot of things that sort of make everything up. But he just finds the cure, or not really find he finds the supposed cure, but it ends up making him develop vampirism, namely why he's called the Living Vampire, as we're gonna go by the comics. But yeah, this movie, there is a lot of stuff. There is a lot of stuff. One thing is that it is connected to Venom, obviously, because again, Sony's trying to set up their own like separate pocket universe with these movies. And it's just like, come on. Like we already know this is kind of setting things up. And that's about it. But yeah, he supposedly finds the cure, and of course he develops vampirism, and that's just the movie is him trying to cure it. But the thing is, to put into the gripe about this movie, and I'll save the gripes for a little bit later. But the positives is the action is very well done. I will say there are some very good cinematography, especially with a lot of the action scenes. So there you go with that. This like weird little like misty effect that happens whenever he's using his powers to like try to locate somebody, or if he's trying, of course, when he's trying to like, or especially when he's like traversing everywhere, it's kind of crazy. It is interesting. It's well shot, but I know there's like a whole lot of slow motion shots, and just I know it's kind of like, even then there's a couple points in the movie where just like it is like too dark to see. It is too dark to see everything, and I don't really know what the rating of the film is, but I also have IMDb put up here, so let's take a look at that. So yeah, let's see here. This is supposed to be what was this movie supposed to be rated? Oh, right. Yeah, a movie about vampires, and it's rated, of course, this because you're trying to make it good enough for general audiences, but sounds more like you're trying to play ball with Disney there, Sony. But then again, you've been doing that ever since you try to get Spider-Man in there. So There you go. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, this movie was very passable. But even then, I know a lot of people, and I know, but I'm saying critics are kind of tearing this apart. And I will say, yeah, there is a lot of this movie that is all right, but it's still not very good because you want to know why it isn't very good personally? Is this movie is painfully, painfully predictable. Even then, I know there's a lot of like horror, there's a lot of horror tones, a lot of horror like elements to this film, so it feels like a pseudo horror movie. Oops, I think the connection maybe get a little iffy here, but I guess I'm gonna stop the there. So yeah, just trying to stream that's gonna put a damper on things. But yeah, this movie is like it's painfully predictable. And even then, I'm just like I'm just sort of like just mouthing off or just whispering a lot of certain things that happen in the movie. Like, of course, like like there's like a death in the movie, and of course it's supposed to be dramatic. And I see myself like, where have I seen that before in a Sony Marvel property? I wonder. Yeah, but again, we all know what it's from. If anyone out there has seen the movie or actually is watching this later, it is just you see something like that is like even then I think there's like even one scene where he just like gets all meta and gets all meta like he thinks he's walking in like thinking like trying to be meta like he thinks he's John Wick or something like dude come on Leto come on just my god. And it's like again, like I said, stuff like that. When they try to do when you try to do some meta stuff in movies nowadays, it's just like, oh my god, oh my god, why are you doing this? And even then, even when someone asks that question, who are you? And he just deliberately says, I'm Venom. Like, dude, come on, seriously? Just like, oh my god. I don't think that's much of a spoiler, but come on, dude. Just like, seriously? I know the Venom movies were not very. Oh, hey there. I see you there. I see you there in the chat. And I know. I'm just gonna say I'm keeping you anonymous there. Yeah, I know you were seeing it, but don't worry. If you go see it, believe me, you're gonna see a little bit of eye candy there, which I even mouthed off in the theater, saying, thinking of all the women that were in some of the few women that were in the audience, like saying, "Oh, there's your eye candy. There's your eye candy there, ladies." In fact, you get eye candy from both from the protagonist and the villain of the movie. So there you go. It's kind of crazy because of course you gotta have that male eye candy somewhere in these movies just to get the ladies interested. But yeah, it's predictable as hell. Again, you kind of think in some points, even in there's a lot, like I said, just like that other dramatic scene where a character is dying and they say the dramatic, oh, I'm dying, so of like, and then they just pass away. Just think of stuff like, I love. It's like that. It's just like, come on. It's really, really too predictable. But even then, like, this movie does take a lot more cues from other certain movies. And I'm even then, one of these cues makes me think, I wonder if a certain vampire killer is gonna show up in this movie. I'm actually hoping for it. Even then, after like the movie was over, a couple of guys that were sitting behind me were talking about the same thing. They were expecting him to show up. But I know with the multiverse possibly opening up with everything else with all the other Marvel movies because of No Way Home, it's probably might happen. So we might see somewhat of a crossover a little bit, maybe, I don't know. But again, Wesley Snipes is still Blade in my eyes. But yeah, they do take a lot of cues. Oddly enough, Morbius was actually meant to be in the original Blade film in '98. I know. They actually even shot that scene, but they cut it out because it didn't really do well with test audiences. Ah, yes, back when they actually did test screenings for movies, and they say that, oh, we don't know if these people are gonna like it, and yeah, and they say, yeah, let's just go back and try to reshoot a few things, and then we just try to put the film out, hoping that general audiences don't tear this thing apart, and critics as well. But yeah, I will say it's passable. It's not anything special. I know some critics are really lambasting it, but it's okay. The action, some of the cinematography, and some of those action scenes is pretty good. But another thing is there's like two characters that like really sort of like one is Tyrese Gibson is in this movie as like a police detective or FBI agent. I don't really know, but he's in there. And there's another dude with like glasses. I'm not sure if I'm not sure. I didn't see Venom, but I don't know if if they were in those movies, so they might be returning characters. But yeah, Tyrese Gibson is obviously the straight man cop, and of course the other one with the glasses is trying to be funny, witty, and I mean he's a Spanish name. He's got a Spanish name. There's like one scene in the movie where the character is saying something to a store clerk in Spanish, and like he walks in and is like saying, like, you don't like you sound like you got a Spanish name there, dude. Why don't you just speak Spanish to this guy too? If you're trying to act like you mean business. But yeah, like he pulls out like something where he pulls out some holy water. Is like, dude, like, and even some more really graining stuff that he says, like, dude, I seriously hope somebody comes and drink. I seriously hope somebody comes and drains your blood, dude. I actually would have loved to see that. But since it's PG-13, we can't allow to see all that violence, because it really was a scene that really was like a very violent scene. Was pretty much kind of like messed up due to like the lighting and how dark the scene was. And it's okay. And I mean, again, no, it's just a PG-13 movie, but I mean, look, Morbius really could have done better as an R-rated movie. I mean, why go lower with like um I don't know if Venom was R-rated or not, but again, it's just like something you don't really understand. I don't really understand, because again, when you're going PG-13, it's like harder. You see people die, but again, you don't really see them die in graphic or violent ways. If you do that, you're automatically gonna get slapped with an R. But yeah, it's not. It's I wouldn't say it's good or it's bad. But again, there are two post-credit scenes in the movie, but it's not like completely after the credits. It's just like, again, having it also just it's just two scenes that have to deal with with idea of the multiverse, or bringing all of Spider-Man's rogue gallery together, which I assume what was being set up with Venom, and I think what Sony's trying to go with the route with. But now that like they kind of do the multiverse thing now with the MCU, there's a possibility. I know, again, like some of Spider-Man's villains and rogues galleries might have crossed over into their universe. And of course, if you saw No Way Home, since it's been over a month now since we've seen it, yeah, the piece of the Venom symbiote is trapped in the MCU universe. So somehow, if they're going to do more films up with Tom Holland Spider-Man, I'm not sure how that's going to affect everything though. But again, the whole idea is just like, it's getting a little too crazy now, and it's getting a little more contrived and more. I know it's trying to up the stakes though, but after the amazingness of the Infinity Saga, I'm not really sure how far we're going to really go with all this stuff in terms of the MCU. But we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's about it. It's a passable movie, but it isn't really something I would say. I would say at least watch it once. And I mean, do as I do. Just go really just see the movie at a matinee price. If you can see the movie for cheap, or if you're willing to wait until it comes out on digital just to gauge your thoughts on it, do that as well. I'm not really saying you need to go out and see this at all. Now, a movie I will be seeing, and you probably will definitely see that next week, is definitely I'm going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I'm looking forward to that movie. So, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys next time. And always, everybody, may the force be with you always. Stay safe, people. Peace out.